Hello everyone and welcome to the Commexis Cast Daily, all the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. Today we're talking about LinkedIn and its new video features. Hello everyone, I'm McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I'm joined by the lead strategist at Commexis, Phillip Brooks.
Good morning.
So today we're talking about some LinkedIn new video features. So the first thing, LinkedIn is introducing some new filters to their mobile video recording as a portion of their app. They're also adding some nice text-based things as well. So this is kind of a play on what Snapchat and Instagram already do so very well with Snapchat stories and Instagram stories. This is kind of, sort of LinkedIn's response to it a little bit. We'll get into it. So what you'll see on screen now and what I'll be recording in a second is basically they just added some stickers. That's what they're calling filters. And they are things such as on the air, work high five, and side hustle.
Hey, work high five.
Yo, nice.
All right.
So it's one of those things when I look at it, I think, okay, obviously this is clearly about Snapchat and Instagram sort of getting into that space. But before I ask you this question, Phillip, I'm gonna actually start recording one. Hi, Phillip. How you doing?
Hi.
So my question to you is, how relevant is this to LinkedIn? Because I feel like it's kind of not.
Yeah, I really feel like this is a complete misstep on their part for not really understanding who their audience is. These are just to kind of, I don't know what kind of development time or hours they put into creating this product. I hope it wasn't a lot, because this is exactly the kind of stuff that people complain about on LinkedIn, which is the personal data being up there, personal sharing, the stuff that doesn't belong in a business environment. I honestly don't see the value of this to that audience. Personally, I don't see any situation where I would ever use it except for, right now. Other than that, I just don't know if this is fully a, hey, we just want to try some things out and see how it goes, or this is really just something that they're actually trying to market. I hope for their sake it's not.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really great point. I feel like this isn't really the place for this kind of thing. And the way that LinkedIn is kind of marketing it is, this is something you could probably use, at a convention or something like that. Something that will add a little flair to the video that you're already posting and showcasing, sort of where you are and stuff like that. But I feel like I will never use this the way that I use an Instagram story or a Snapchat story, both personally and even for Commexis' social media, just because it's so, it feels wrong.
It's such a misstep tonally to me for what the ostensible purpose of what LinkedIn's supposed to do. And honestly, even to go back to your point about trade shows or conventions and stuff, a lot of them are really developing their own apps just for that kind of stuff already. So, why would you even need this? This is not the kind of content that I would want on LinkedIn. And I have a pretty strong reach on LinkedIn and a pretty good understanding of how the audience works on there. I think it's somewhere like ridiculous amount of 1,500 people in my network or whatever, and I just don't understand. If anybody were to use this regularly, I would probably stop following them.
Yeah, Amy brought up a really great point. I was talking to her yesterday about this, our SEO project manager, and she mentioned that there's a lot of potential in the use of this if they go the Snapchat route of, hey, make your own stickers, because then you're effectively making, maybe your logo or something in the corner of your videos and stuff like that. But then you also have to consider that Snapchat has things like geofencing and other things for their filters that add a lot to the meat of that app and that use on Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah,
Instagram or Snapchat.
Yeah, I wonder if perhaps this is sort of a step in the direction of, they're really trying to go back to making LinkedIn into a content platform where people are creating original content on it. I don't know how, again, effective that is, because it wasn't particularly effective the last time they started pushing it. I don't know how they monetize that either. But for me, I just don't see the value in it. It seems awfully redundant compared to the other platforms that are out there, and I don't see that it's a effective understanding of your audience.
Yeah, I think you brought up a great point there, and sort of a segue into the second half of our show. So LinkedIn has introduced and is slowly rolling out some native video uploading to the platform. So you mentioned, unique content production.
Shocking that that's the way they're going.
Whoa, wait a minute. So the problem with this, while it is nice, basically in essence, you can upload video directly to LinkedIn and just have it be posted and embedded there, and that's where it lives, right? So the way that they do this, in contrast to say Facebook, who does this and has been doing this pretty well for a very long time, is the only thing you can do is upload your video. You can't add a title, you can't add a thumbnail, I don't think you can add closed captions, so the subtitles have to be burned into the video. So there's just a lot of weird problems that I feel like exist on this already sort of integrated thing that maybe shouldn't have been there to begin with. There have been some brands that have been using it, so AARP, Harvard University, Apple, they've been using this, but I feel like it's just too basic at the moment. I mean, it's early, but
I think you just nailed it with AARP. There you go. There's your target audience for how to use this very basic video upload platform. But I think the other thing to keep in mind too is that this is early access, so people are getting access to it, you know, in its infancy while it's still being developed. So there will be probably a lot of feedback provided so that people understand what features they probably need to add going forward. And remember, because it's a pilot program, because it's early access, you know, they may not have had the budget to develop all the dev hours, to put all the dev hours in that are required to add all these new features. And, you know, honestly, if their response isn't there, why invest all those hours in it anyway? So, I mean, that's a big piece too. I mean,
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
So,
I mean, well, I think that's a great point, because when I think of, you know, platforms like Twitter doesn't have sort of these basic functions, but also Twitter is a different sort of platform in the sort of audience and responses that you're expecting.
It's a microblog.
And the same thing with Instagram. You know, they don't let you upload thumbnails, and they have, you know, other restrictions of a video can't be longer than 60 seconds, but they work better with the platform, where I expect LinkedIn to be more like Facebook in the sense of giving you more of these options because you're trying to reach a more professional audience and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they call it native video, and this isn't native at all. This is bolted on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast Daily. Check us out tomorrow for more of the latest trending news. Have a great day.